Good morning, everyone. In this video, a discussion will be developed to highlight how the perception of juvenile crime and justice is perceived by the public in a negative way due to the way the news is reported by the media to the masses. Through a gradual analysis of juvenile crime and juvenile justice, and then a greater understanding of how the news is used by the mainstream media, I will present a challenge that provides other perspectives on the role of the media when it comes to reporting on juvenile crime. What emerges from this is a certain responsibility on the part of the media in influencing public opinion, and consequently, the youth justice system. When we talk about juvenile crime, we are mainly referring to minors, those who have not yet reached the age to be considered adults, both socially and legally. When we talk about minors, therefore, we always refer to someone who, due to their age, could be considered not mature enough to understand what the right behavior should be to have towards other people and the environment in which they live. This is just the first level of a common intuitive and emotional sense that every adult could have towards minors. In the case of criminal or deviant behavior, therefore, both the public and the law may find themselves in the position of having to judge minors differently from how adults are judged. As far as the public is concerned, most people don't know much about how the juvenile justice system works, nor do they really know what are the multiple causes that can lead young boys to commit crimes. Most of their knowledge comes from what the media report in a few minutes news on TV or newspaper articles, but also from forms of knowledge that are stereotyped in the social context in which they live. Therefore, their personal judgment of the world of youth and how the justice system operates is inevitably subject to this information system. It is important to focus on this second emotional level to better explore the subject, because it is precisely from this mass perception that it also follows that institutions need to apply laws that can respond to the perceived needs of society. With this initial analysis, it is already possible to identify the responsibilities of the media, both in spreading common sense towards youth issues and in directing governments to make certain decisions. Further objections can also lead us to think that these constructions could also be acts of injustice. Criminologists argues that children, or minors, who are involved in criminal acts become important for the media to give more prominence to the news. It doesn't matter if the children involved are the victims or the offenders. Other studies, such as those by criminologist researcher Faith Gordon, explore how children themselves perceive themselves and their peers precisely because of media actions. In addition to this analysis, the researcher highlights how the news is manipulated to prevent the public from understanding only what they want to understand. From this emerges the fact that the media, out of personal interests, treat news to maximize the value it can have. Juvenile crime stories, therefore, tend to portray minors as problematic. The terms with which the media tend to depict young people are always aimed at arousing the emotions of the public. So terms such as thugs or rebels cause concern in society that finds itself asking for a harsher response from the institutions. The United Nations Committee on the Rights of the Child to take effective measures to prevent discriminatory behavior against adolescents from occurring within the population. Now, to begin to look at the problem of juvenile crime by eluding any form of traditional idea, it is important to start by analyzing everything that is not normally considered by the mainstream news. To help us in this work, we will use research data from the Edinburgh Study of Youth Transitions and Crime, which provides a lot of information about young people who have faced criminal justice. The studies, which began in 1998, focused on more than 4,000 young people aged 12 and over, where through the completion of questionnaires and periodic interviews over the following years, they allowed researchers to better understand the motivations that push young people towards a life of crime. Among the aspects that emerge most frequently are the lack of a united family, such as divorced parents or even without parents. Children from families of low economic status, and people who grew up in urban areas with high crime rates. These studies report very accurate data and have given researchers the opportunity to classify groups of young people and relate them to the life they had to lead at a young age. These surveys also allow us to have a broader vision of the problem of juvenile crime, which highlight other problems present in society, such as education, attention on the part of the institution towards those young people who grow up in disadvantaged families. Young people facing criminal justice are doubly disadvantaged because in addition to being already seen as maladjusted criminals by society, they are themselves vulnerable individuals. We have examined how public opinion views young criminals and how youth justice also works, consequently, to be able to respond to the needs of the masses. But above all, we have seen how these opinions are somehow influenced by the media. In our analysis process, we understood that there could be other forms of criminal justice. A comparison between two different juvenile criminal justice systems, the US and the Swedish. The two systems of justice are very different in their approach. The most important difference lies in the fact that the US one adopts more of a punitive practice, while the Swedish one is rehabilitative. The punitive system basically seeks to punish those who have committed a crime by locking them up in a prison and subjecting them to guilt for the crime committed. The Swedish rehabilitation system, on the other hand, represents a choice to intervene on the criminal by trying to rehabilitate him through a path of growth. This is because the Swedish justice system considers precisely those factors that we have discussed previously, acknowledging that the young criminal may have committed those crimes because of the social reality he experienced. The video ends here. Leave a comment to let me know what you think. We'll see you soon. Bye.